This week on Take It Outside.
I'm off to Japan on one of the few last flights before the country shuts down and everyone's fighting for toilet paper. I'm on a flight to Japan. Everyone's like, well, you might not be able to get back. And I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Great.
I go,
it's good news.
That's really not a reason for me not to go.
Yeah, just need to get there.
It takes one person at a very, very high level, one person an entire day to sew it. And that's just the sewing of it, right? That's not the preparation of it.
You kind of make clothes for yourself.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I mean, I would do the same thing. I mean, if you don't love it, why the hell would anybody else?
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Welcome to the Take It Outside podcast. I'm your host, Sam Mackey. As always, I have my co-host, Smokin' Jay Cutler. Today, we have the owner of and founder of Black Bear brand, Josh Sirlin, on the podcast. I appreciate you, bud.
What's coming on, dude?
Sorry. Boom.
I guess I need to do that.
Yep. And we've had a hell of a day already. We got our new vest, which we'll talk about here shortly, and went out to Leapers. There's a cool little photo shoot. Rode Jay's new bike, which is a lot faster and newer than mine. The throttle, man, like mine, it's a 06 Fat Boy, and
yeah.
You know, it's had a little work done to it in the garage.
I think it's had zero work done to it. It's just nearly falling apart.
And the throttle is very forgiving. Yours is just like you touch it, it's boom. She's jumping.
She wants to go. I got it from one of Ray's buddies, and he tunes them up and stuff. So that thing is it's a little more juiced up than my liking, but yeah, she can go.
She's quick. Mm-hmm. All right, Josh, when did you start riding motorcycles?
So the first time I ever got on a bike was actually in Panama on Travis Pastrana's bike that he rode across the pool, which is kind of a fun little nick.
Oh, okay.
Really?
And I got on the bike, and that's when I was still drinking real hard. And I was there fucking around because I did projects with that place. It was called Nitro Circus Nitro Circus started it with Travis and somebody from
the Red Bull thing?
Well, it's called Nitro City, so it was where they filmed a good portion of that movie that they did called Nitro Circus Live, where they jumped from roof to roof in downtown Panama.
Uh-huh.
And I did some projects for that resort in association with it, and then I got to fly down there and fuck off a lot.
Sure.
So I did. And I was in the resort at one point by myself, just me and the resort.
Uh-huh.
And that bike was sitting there, so I ripped around and up and down the beach with my flip-flops. And that was
Never been on a bike before?
No, because I drank a lot, and I put like very few kind of things I didn't allow myself to do, but motorcycles was one of the very few.
Don't want to die.
Yeah, I did a lot of the things that put me in a good chance of dying, but that was one that I didn't. But after I got sober, I bought my Panhead.
Okay.
My 48 Panhead.
Gotcha.
So it went from that bike on flip-flops on the beach and then a 48 Panhead.
Quick turn.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
Indiana until I was 12, 13 years old.
We're in Indiana.
Fort Wayne.
Okay. My parents are from like Valpo, Chesterton area.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're up there.
Yeah. Indiana's a great place to be from.
Yeah, you don't want to stay there.
Yeah. Good place to be from.
So where'd you go then?
Outside of Seattle, my whole family moved there since I have 5 brothers.
Oh, really?
So our family moved because my dad worked in truck manufacturing.
Okay.
So he moved from Navistar, which was International Harvester, and he moved to PACCAR, which was Peterbilt and Kenworth. And the Kenworth factory and corporate for both Peterbilt and Kenworth is based out of Seattle.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not. I knew Boeing was based out of Seattle, but that's about it as far as the companies of that size.
I just knew Filson.
Yeah. Oh, they're out of Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what year did you move there?
Well, I'm fucking 50. Fuck. Wow. I am 50, and I moved there between the age of 12 and 13.
Okay.
So a long time
38
ago.
years ago.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Where are you in the brother order?
Second to oldest.
Second. Okay.
But my older brother passed when I was 12.
Oh wow. Sorry.
So since that, preliminary to the move,
Sure.
that shook up the family, let's say.
I can imagine.
And then I took that role,
yeah.
I guess.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Didn't have a choice.
Yeah. It was
When
here.
did you said your dad was in the Army. When did he get out of the Army?
Marines.
Marines? Okay. When did he get out of the military? Before you were born, or?
Yeah, so
Okay.
he jumped. He was in by force.
Got drafted?
Got drafted.
No, it was choice between.
Go to war,
Jail?
go to
Yeah,
jail? Me too.
so that was the
Look at
choice.
me now.
And that choice, sent him. I think he was physically on the ground in Vietnam when he turned 18.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
So he was young.
Yeah.
Like real young. And he did, I don't know how many tours. And then when he was out, he never looked back.
Yeah.
But he got migrated into what his role was fairly quick. I mean, he was one of the top in the state at wrestling, boxing, and all these things. So he was a good specimen framework wise to be pulled into what he was about to do.
I mean, that makes sense, right? If you came from the latter and you're more, of a, I'm going to call it a studious student, if you will, and then you end up in Vietnam, that's a little different. But if you grew up, wrestling and fighting, at least you have an aggressive nature and tone about you that will help you as a default a default mechanism of aggression, right?
Yeah, you walk into it versus walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what was it like growing up with 5 brothers in the house?
I don't know anything different.
Yeah.
So it's like
I have 3 little girls and they like color and behave and, listen. But I know if I had 3 boys, I would have, my house would be mayhem.
But think about the era too. So we're talking late 70s, 80s.
You're living pretty free back then.
Yeah. I mean, we all had BB guns. We all shot each other with BB guns.
Yeah. I have shot and been shot with a BB gun.
We all fought for real.
Yeah.
And we were, you had a BMX bike and a public swimming pool.
Yeah.
Those were your babysitters.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's very true.
Yeah. I used to ride my bike everywhere.
Me too.
Just be gone.
I had that mongoose.
Yeah.
And that mongoose probably had 300,000 miles on it. You know what I mean?
Tires bald.
Like that's all we did is go to the public pool during the summer.
I mean, I think I feel so lucky looking back at that kind of being
Sure.
the way in which I got to grow up because I couldn't, have done all the things that followed that with having kind of framework or structure to some extent. It was fucking free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know it. Like you only look back at it now with going, fuck, wild. We were
Yeah.
like kind of left to learn lessons. Like get fucking hurt, get beat up by the bigger kid.
Yeah.
Fucking do.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. Go get fucking beat up.
Yep.
Like,
You figure out your boundaries.
Yeah.
yeah, go get shot with a BB gun.
Mine is a
Good.
Red Rider, and she's still on. I mean, she's still doped in tight.
All right.
Ours were 10 pump pellet guns. Ours fucking hurt.
That's
We could kill squirrels with ours,
I
but we were
killed-
still shooting each other.
I never was allowed to have one of those.
I remember I got mine and, we're out in the backyard and we had a little bit of woods back there. I mean, it was still kind of a subdivision. And I remember I shot a squirrel and I looked around and I was like, oh shit, it actually killed it. And I ran home and I think one of my sisters was with me. I was like, don't tell anybody that we killed a squirrel. BB guns are the best.
After high school,
What did you do after high school?
straight into college.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a decision. Like again, the upbringing we had, it's like going, like where I was going to school was what had to be determined.
Yeah.
And what was going to determine that is like, are you getting a scholarship?
Yeah.
Or you're going to a state school and you better work.
Yeah.
Because I'm not giving you any fucking money.
Yeah.
Right.
What were the options?
Well, I went on recruiting trips because football was kind of my favorite thing and my jam, but I got hurt so much in school.
Yeah.
I think my senior year and junior year, I left public school by being kicked out. I went to private school on quote unquote athletic scholarship.
Sure.
And then recruiting trips were like largely Notre Dame because that was where I wanted. Like that was the dream.
Yeah.
Grew up in Indiana.
Sure.
You know, we had season tickets growing up because my grandfather was a doctor.
South Bend,
In
right down
South
the road.
Bend. Yeah. So it's like all those things. But it's like when the recruiting trips were like, it's like I wasn't going to fucking play.
Sure.
Right. They weren't going to give me a scholarship where it was going to make me not have to pay.
Yeah.
And it's like going, so I instantly lost that. I did have my feet in reality grounded fairly well. So I was like, I worked full time during high school.
Yeah.
So I had a full time job during college, but I just went to Wazoo because girls were pretty.
Yeah.
It was cheap. I
out
could get
in Pullman?
accepted. Yeah. Cheap, accepted, pretty girls, and you could party.
I dated a girl that went to Washington State because I lived on Bainbridge Island my senior year of high school, so she was my girlfriend my senior year of high school. Then she went on to college, and I went to Buds, and she dumped me. But
The Cougars? What was her name?
Yeah, Lisa Howard.
Oh, Lisa. Missed out.
Yep, could have been Lisa Mackey. Just kidding. I love you, Katie.
She didn't listen to these anyway.
So what'd you study in college?
I first started in art,
Yeah.
but then I didn't really blend well.
Were you artistic in high school? Did you like clothing? Did you have a style to yourself? That
That would be a good thing to ask someone else. It's like when looking back at it, it's like when I always liked clothing. I mean, I worked in like even when I was. We did not calendars, but like catalogs when we were young because I have very blonde hair when I had hair. And there were 6 of us. We were like a catalog dream. So some of that savings that we got that was feeble and it's looking back, but still helpful, went into a college fund that we were able to tap into individually. But so that, and I worked in a clothing store folding clothes during the winter when I was fucking 8.
Wow.
So I liked it all. I mean, I would be the one that liked clothes a lot.
Yeah.
But I was always that kind of 2 opposites in one person. Like I was a captain of the football team, smoked weed, drank a shit ton, you know, was rough on the edges and being nice to myself.
Yeah.
While also in the art department.
Yeah, had this artistic, softer side on the
But I didn't know if it was soft. But I mean, there was
it was just there.
It was there was probably a sensitivity that was not matched up. Let's say with the same thing I was getting.
I mean, you're young, you're going through hormones. It's hard to figure out who you are at that age.
Yeah, and we can be as complex as 2 things known
absolutely
amongst a generality. But then in college, it's like when it started to get a little bit more identity based. That thing, and I wasn't fucking into it. I mean, I was still the guy that would do all those bad things while wearing Birkenstocks, but I was bigger than the average guy. But I was cleaning the toilets at the bar and selling hot dogs outside of it to support my way through college.
Yeah.
While working at the Olympic weight room, like none of it made a whole lot of sense. But I ended up in the hotel restaurant department within the first year from the art department because I wanted to go do Tom Cruise in Cocktail. It was as childish as that.
So this is like early 90s.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like, and I was my aspirations were as childish and as simple as that. I thought that was cool. Go serve drinks for rich women in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
that was Tom Cruise.
Hell yes, it was Tom Cruise.
Oh, take it
Relax. I mean, you need to figure it out. This should be right in your wheelhouse.
For a second, I thought it was Charlie Sheen when I was remembering.
No.
He probably would have done a better job.
He did a pretty good job in that movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
I remember it's a beach bar and he's making cocktails. That's the only thing I remember.
New
about.
York to there.
Yeah, he started in New York. He's in like a
I was about to say I was way off.
Downtown club, and then ends a girl's involved. It's kind of a love story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But then it ends up down there slinging drinks down there.
All right.
But
Loses
like,
some money,
imagine
some
you're
money.
in your early, late teens, early 20s, and it's like going, what's more attractive than, that?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, especially if you're in the hotel, if that's where you want to be. I mean, why
Well,
not?
I just wanted to do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
why
it
not
wasn't even
work
as thoughtful.
there?
It's like, it was like I wanted to go work in a hotel. It's
Okay.
like, well, no, I was like, I thought that was, I mean, I still have a lot of what my aspirations when broken down are still quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
But I graduated college after living in the Micronesian Islands, kind of dabbling in that type of aspect of the hotel business. I mean, I went down there and slung drinks and did that shit for 7 months during my junior year. And then right out of college, within 4 weeks of graduation, people walked.
So your junior year, did you just take off and go down there?
So this is how old it is. It's like I applied fucking through a written letter.
Yeah.
I did an interview over a fucking telephone, right? And I got sent a plane ticket. And my parents, God bless them, and it's like when because of their background, it's like when they think it was normal, the way in which they had me do this. It's like I went and got my passport. I had $20 in a checkbook.
Yeah.
And I got dropped off at the airport.
Gone.
See you in 7 months, Josh.
Yeah.
That was normal. And I was like,
Was this a part of like a study abroad program No, you just took off time.
a job. It's like it was a job
Gotcha.
that I'd get internship hours or whatever for.
Yep.
But it was like a job. I got paid,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Knew no one over there.
Not a soul. I'd never been on a plane besides the Seattle to Indiana.
Really? Yeah.
So you go play Tom Cruise, you get back, and then
Graduate.
Graduate, right? That's a big part.
Yeah. But then I get on another plane and I go to the Caribbean. And I actually do it. I run the beverage department for a Westin Hotel in St. Croix.
Really?
My first job out of college.
Really?
How long did you do that for?
I lasted about 3 months.
Okay. Gosh. Until you drank all the inventory? Or?
Oh, yeah. That's the catch. It's like when I was a professional, as much on the other end of the bar, I was a professional.
Yeah.
And you could also drink socially. It was socially acceptable to drink all the time. Mm-hmm. It was socially acceptable to drink during lunch. And I did all those things all the time, right? It's like so you look around, I was starving. Now I look back, it's like starving for like some type of interpersonal relationships. I was starving for like intellectual stimulation. I was like, being on an island and drinking all the time, fucking great for a weekend.
Sure.
Right? Great for a week.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's like when eventually, at least me, I needed a whole lot more, and I was just fucking.
Yeah.
It was just like I'm like going fucking. I'm gonna fucking push this until a lot of things break.
Sure.
Now, the next handful of years, I knew you partied pretty hard growing up, as a young man. But my question is, were you sober before you started the Black Bear brand, or same time, before, after?
Yeah, I mean that's what it all happened in kind of a fairly quick sequence. I mean, let's say we got to jump forward from working in the Kenworth factory to then working in international export with Kenworth parts, and then working in technology, and then flourishing within that to some level, and running New England for an F5 Networks. Within their sales, and then starting my first creative business.
And that was with Mastercraft, right?
No, that's all before I turned 28.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And then I turned 28, and I say fuck it to the world, and I go off and try to do my own thing with nothing more than undeserved confidence. And
how'd you go from hotel business to Kenworth?
When I got back, the economy's terrible, jobs aren't anything. I was in material planning for Kenworth.
This is
where I got hired.
Is what, late 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Almost
late 90s.
2000.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like so it's like going.
I mean, the world's ending in 2000 apparently.
Y2K.
Yeah, Y2K. It's over.
So we just did whatever. Like
Sure.
You're in Kenworth. I got to work in the material planning department.
Okay.
Then worked in the marketing. I've always was unsatisfied or incontent, which enabled me to kind of move quickly until I saw a ceiling, and then I'd be the chaotic person that I can be until I either break the ceiling or I
move on,
upset everything around me to the point where it's like when the door is my option.
Okay.
But those things, starting my first creative company after doing some technology for a couple years, and then I ended up losing everything I owned. I lived in Whistler at the time, and that was all up until like, I think 31 years old.
With the Australians?
Yeah, I love the Australians.
So
love them. Love Australia on so many levels. Then moved back with nothing. Everything I owned fit in the trunk of a Cadillac. I traded in my Cherokee for an 88 Cadillac DeVille.
Okay.
All right.
Because that's what they would give me with no payment necessary for 6 months. So everything in the trunk of a Cadillac, parked in front of my dad's house, slept on couches for a while, restarted like my quote unquote creative company, worked in the bond market. One of the products that I came up with was the product I did for Mastercraft. I did that for a handful of years, and then was satisfied, and I was doing projects like I mentioned with like Nitro Circus or Nitro City Live, and then or Nitro Circus Live, and then Formula One race car drivers or Nike or you name it. And then, but I was kind of not keen, and I wanted to get rid of my Mastercraft product because I then owned that product that was distributed. And I wanted to do fashion. I wanted to do apparel. I wanted to, but no one would hire me to do any. I was unemployable. For what reason? Meaning I just haven't been employed in fucking 10 years.
Sure.
And my skill set was like confusing at best.
Yeah. I mean, just hearing the story, I'm like, I don't know.
What the fuck are you supposed to do?
Yeah, you're all, there's all over the map of different jobs.
What are you supposed to do? I mean, all of them had their own shtick, but none of them matched together in a formal sense.
No.
Where somebody would say, okay, your likelihood is to be the marketing manager.
Sure.
Or director of sales. It's like, what the fuck does this guy do?
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking run a part of the company? Or be an annoyance? I don't know. What the fuck? But at that time, I was ditching that Mastercraft product. I did find somebody to buy it from me, and they would follow through with the distribution and intellectual property that I had that then had the rights to the distribution within Mastercraft and these neat things. But it was still a very minimal amount of money to me, but I was ready to walk.
So you sold your IP?
I did.
Okay.
Sold the IP, and I gave them the distribution business to kind of execute that IP.
Yep. So figure it out. You just want it out.
I wanted fucking out.
Yeah.
And I saw the writing on the wall that it was on its path to ending anyhow. I didn't think the market was, I thought it was in a good place on multiple levels. But then at that time, I started helping a person that did screen printing for me that owned the license for Fucked. Him and someone else were losing the license for Fucked, F-U-C-T, which is a Bernetti streetwear brand, similar like Supreme at that era.
Yep.
And I was helping them kind of clean up and go after some new defunct labels while applying and trying to get somebody to hire me as a creative director within fashion specifically.
Gotcha. Men's apparel or just any fashion?
I didn't give a fuck.
Didn't care.
I wanted
somebody to be in that world.
I wanted somebody to allow me to give it a chance and see if I could do it.
Gotcha.
But I had no reason, now looking back, for them to hire me.
Yeah.
They'd have to just like me. And that's really not a hireable.
The resume didn't say hire me. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great in the apparel fashian world.
None of it said that.
I'm just banking on my charming good looks here.
It's like and that charming good looks is very limited. So it's like when we're going to rely on that with limit. But under that kind of thing that I was helping them kind of clean up what they were doing, because I did do that amongst some consulting on branding and some kind of, I'm a cleaner. I was a cleaner to some aspect. I come in and clean up all the things somebody did wrong because I'm honest.
Yeah.
And I have a strong hand. So within that, this Black Bear brand, who I'd already been in like contact with Edwin Fahey, who owned Car Work in Progress and started it. So my ends, like I would send creative pitches to Hublot watches, to Car Work in Progress, just out of sheer interest. And that was happening for years up to it. So you name it, to one of those companies, I've sent stuff to them over a decade. When it was mail, but I just mail it to them.
They respond?
Some of them would use it.
Really?
I wouldn't get paid.
They just take it and go.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even, it's like, it wasn't even, like, there was not, like, I gave it to them inherently. It's like, I didn't even, like, I went about it in a way in which was
the worst way ever. or not the worst way, not a way to make money.
Yeah, not a way to achieve what at that time I was trying to achieve, but I just wanted someone to accept.
You just wanted to be acknowledged, like, hey, he can do this in this arena.
Yeah, I was hoping for it, at least.
Yep.
And I'd done a handful of stuff in the branding aspect of apparel, but never in the cut and sew, and was never getting a chance or in one of these companies.
Yeah.
I get hired to do a fixer job for Nike.
Sure.
I get hired to do, like, I'd come in and fix in agencies for them. But it's like going to have this role, no one ever looked at me in that way. So Black Bear brand came on my radar. Those people that I was helping were a fucking mess, so I walked from helping them. I stopped. I had this, and I developed, my idea was to make Black Bear brand to what it's now, I guess, becoming.
What was it before? I didn't know. This is the first I've heard this story. What was Black Bear brand before?
It was an apparel manufacturer and brand started in the early 1900s that flourished to something quite large in the 20s and 30s, and did everything from denim overalls to jeans to wax canvas at a very high level to overcoats to.
Where were they out of?
Seattle.
No
really?
Kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like everything. So at that
kind of
point,
came together.
Yeah,
Things
it's
are
all coming.
yeah.
It's like sitting in my hands, and I've
Sure.
got this thing. I've got all this old fashioned, because I do collect that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Out of interest, and it's like I'm looking at it, and because of that work with, let's say, Mastercraft and Nike, Oakley, Red Bull, what have you, it's like when I had to become somewhat, at least, versed in intellectual property and all the legal aspect of that, and the lawyer in which worked with me was specializing in intellectual property. So I went to him and I said, I got to find who fucking owns this.
Yep.
Because I want it.
Yeah.
And I want to go to them and have them support my idea.
Sure.
So quickly determined that a holding company had gone after it. They've gotten rejected in the trademark, like, commandeering of it, and I was like, "Fuck that noise! So I'm gonna get it."
So it was just a dead company at that point.
Dead mark.
Yep.
Dead mark. But a holding company got rejected.
But they
literally.
whoever owned it paid to keep the IP.
Yeah, they still had the.
Right.
No, it was left too dead. It was literally dead.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Like nothing about it was owned by anybody.
Okay.
And the family, like, I had one of the nieces or great nieces of that company in my office a month ago, who just wanted, and she, like, painted a picture for me of a bear and brought it to me as a gift. So, it's a totally different story. But
Sure.
So I wanted that trademark. I started going after that trademark the way I do things, and that's, I just went at it 20 different ways. They say you can't do it. I was like, well, how do they not get it? What were they rejected on?
Yeah.
I go, that's what I want to know.
Yep.
I'll do.
Yeah, we can do a workaround. Like what?
It's like, of course. It's like when I don't look at it generally, it's like when somebody else couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't look at that as the reason why I shouldn't be able to do it. I was like, oh, I know how it can't be done.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So that holding company got rejected simultaneously. I started going after it. I went after it, got rejected within a few months, but already started the 3 other ways in which I was going to obtain it. And part of what I did is I started the company. I started Black Manufacturing, who owned Black Bear brand. I started it, operated it, put it into the market, and operated it as I owned it. I just operated it for 2 years without having any ownership.
Which is not a bad way to do it, because you're just hoping that no one comes after you then at that point. And then if you get to a point where you're big enough, you can be like, I've had this for 2 years. Like it's
correct.
I have it.
And then
But your application, actually, the strength and the validity of your application is the operation, right? So anyone that's, let's say going after a mark, the only way that they can obtain a dead or dormant mark is to show that mark is of value and that you have some justification for you being the value owner, right? So, and that is operating it. So it's like but you could be told to fuck off after 2 years or 5 years.
Yep.
It's like so maybe.
Was the bear, was that already?
This is original logo to the T.
No kidding.
Yeah, so this logo is unmolested.
That's
100%.
unbelievable. That is so cool.
What's the first article of clothing that you made under the Black Bear brand?
This T-shirt.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
this fucking T-shirt.
Where'd you make it at?
Washington.
Okay. What went into it? Like, hey, I want to make it out of this material. This
No.
is
That was not even
on your radar then.
I didn't even think that way.
Okay.
Right? It's like
Just
when,
want to make a T-shirt.
it's like when I didn't. It's like when it was all. It's like when I was just trying to see, like each one of the steps was me just trying to figure out what's right in front of me, like what I wanted here. And again, it's like when I didn't. I thought anything was possible, and I've been fortunate to always think that anything it's like is possible, while simultaneously like looking at one thing narrow and like going, I just got to get this.
Yeah.
I got to get this. I got to get this. I got to get this. And the T-shirt was easy for me because I'd done T-shirts for people. T-shirts or hats. I mean, I'd get a call randomly from a manager for a Formula One race car driver from Central America who knew somebody through Red Bull and said, hey, Josh can get it done. Why don't you call Josh? And that was 10 years prior to that where I was like, well, sure, give me 10 minutes.
Yep.
I'll make 10 phone calls.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how we're going to make a fucking hat.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a fucking badass hat. Right? So that was able and part of the, at least the thought.
So were you using your own money? Did you get a loan? Or you
No,
just...
I didn't have any money. I didn't have any loan. Because of that smorgasbord of a background.
Yep.
It's like when I could do lots of things.
Yeah.
And I knew lots of people that like, and I was wild enough, and this is post sober. So walking up to that step, it's like when I had just gotten sober.
Yeah.
After, 20 years of being blacked out, minimum of 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And then done.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I
Yeah.
stopped.
Cold turkey.
Top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday morning is what it was. I stopped.
Because...
I mean, I wouldn't have made it. Like my friend now that instigated that, it was the ski coach for, at that time, preliminary to the Sochi Olympics. Right. So he was the ski coach, but I knew him from living up in Canada and him and I were real close. But he had just been sober from living pretty hard.
Gotcha.
And he was staying with me during Supercross. And I still maintained, some level of normalcy, let's call it, while being wild. But he saw the writing on the wall, and it's like when I wouldn't have made it 6 months.
Oh, wow.
30 bottles of wine a week, a couple bottles of whiskey a week, a couple bottles of Jägermeister a week, a case of beer I could drink a case of beer during lunch.
Damn.
Like it was like that, but that's everything. Like that's like an 8 ball of cocaine. Not that to promote that for anyone. Like that was nothing.
Sure.
Like, fuck yeah.
It's a Tuesday. Yeah.
Tiger's blood.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like it's like if you're gonna hit that much alcohol, it's like man, you need something to keep you even, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
and if you hit that much stuff in that little bag, you're gonna need something to keep you even. How's that bottle of whiskey?
So after the T-shirt, I'm just dying to get into when did you start, making apparel like that you're known for today?
Yeah, you wanted to make.
So that it all moved fairly quickly just because of the interest. And I was like, okay, I want to do this.
So go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
How quickly after the T-shirt? How quickly did you get the IP and Black Bear brand?
It was like I was battling, and I got forms of it at certain things, and not at others. It was like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was blackbearbrand.com? Did you have to fight for that, or was that
Black Bear Brand Union was first. Blackbear.com I battled, but like social media stuff I went after, and I've got a couple trademarks now.
Yeah.
Like a couple different companies' trademarks.
Yeah.
Because I got the knack and the kind of heat on it, and I was like, fuck, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I can do this with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
When I find something that's of value, I put those in motion simultaneous to me doing this one, which it's fun. I've got a leather jacket brand and mark that's from 1901 or something.
Jeez.
Really?
That I'll start to fucking put
That's
into motion
cool.
fairly soon, which is fun. But it like after the T-shirts and the things that were fairly rudimentary and anybody can do, and you even see more now. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
Like having you have a name, T-shirt.
Yeah, T-shirt and hat is like your first step.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like anyone can do that.
Yep.
and even let's say 10 years ago, it was still relatively easy. Now it's just wildly easy.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any knowledge and I didn't have any connections, hearsay. So simultaneous, I was applying to be a cutting room manager for a company that was based out of Seattle, not Filson, but another one that needed a person to do that role. So I applied.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I'll do it at night. I'll do this at night. Fuck it, fine.
Sure.
And then simultaneously, I'm exhausting like the fact that I can call somebody and they'll often pick up the phone because of background or whatever. I call up Dickies and get into the 1922 team. I convinced them to do a collaboration with me shortly after I started. Didn't have any reason why they should. They did not have any reason to do it with me. But I convinced them, and we started that. And simultaneous, I walked into the sewing room because they laughed because they saw my resume and they saw what I was doing, but they let me come in. I deconstructed patterns, fabrics on their cutting table during my kind of walkthrough of their fucking studio.
Yeah.
And I designed my first down vest parka just in a deconstruction method.
Yeah.
And they let me do it. They made me like 3 of each, and they're like, people are letting me do things no reason they should let me do.
Yeah.
Like Dickies, I did like fabrics, pants, shirts, chore jacket. I did 10, 20 pieces. Fucking all it does is cost people money. The only like interaction with me just cost them money. No one was making money. It's like when there's no reason. It's like they might have thought I was fun.
Just burning up fabric.
Yeah, it's like this guy's just like bleeding any profit. But they let me do it. And a boot company up in Canada let me do it. So all these things were letting me kind of learn and experiment.
Yeah, as you went along.
And then I would break through.
And it wasn't, and you didn't have to burn up any of your money.
I didn't have any.
Yeah.
So it'd be impossible. It's
Sure.
like going. It's like it was lighting the fire of something that didn't exist.
Yeah.
But each one of those things, I would walk through, take what I could from it, but then walk past and I exhausted what I could get from it fairly quickly.
Sure.
And each one of those kind of led me into my first pattern maker, which led me into my sewing room that I worked at first, but then I'd exhausted their capabilities because I kept on chasing what I was wanting for me. Because it was still, I didn't have any money. Nobody gave a fuck who I was. Nobody gave a fuck what I was making. It's like so I had some solace in that I was making it for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I already didn't have money, so you can't take what I don't have. I didn't have money most of my life, so you couldn't break me by that.
Yeah, that's just the norm.
What's up, guys? Sam Mackey here. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Spartan Forge. Spartan Forge has no doubt made me a more effective and efficient hunter. Spartan Forge was founded by former U.S. Special Operations Intelligence Officer Bill Thompson, who took his 21 years of military experience fighting the global war on terror and applied his learnings to his true love, whitetail hunting. My favorite feature on the Spartan Forge app is the LiDAR for finding draws and funnels. It also has an AI deer movement prediction tool, so you know when and where to go. It has historical wind plots for selecting stand locations, and Cyber Scout for just about anything else I need to know. Spartan Forge, a veteran-owned and operated American mapping and scouting company. Use promo code OUTSIDER20 to save 20% on a premium membership to Spartan Forge. That's OUTSIDER20, OUTSIDER20.
So you do Dickies, you do the boots, and then now...
And all these fail.
Yeah.
It's like the wild thing is like I just uncovered what was wrong.
Yeah.
Like each one of those things, wonderful experience for me, but it's like when I watched and got to reap the lessons of things not working the way I dreamt them to work. Because it just wasn't as good as I had dreamt it would be. The product, the paint wasn't as good. It took me... And then I got at least some notoriety or some exposure through Japan and through a Japanese magazine. And I went to Japan, and then coming to Japan once or twice and kind of building some connections there and being exposed to things that I wasn't exposed to in the U.S., like people doing some wild shit. And being invited into places where it's like when you just can't be invited in the U.S. because they don't exist, like fabric houses or like sewing rooms. Like they're small enough while at a high level, it's kind of this combination. It's like when there's might be very high level, certain very specific factories in the U.S. I'd argue that they're still, in many cases, not at the same execution level as there are in Japan when you get as narrow as something that's a specific category. They excel in dedicating something or dedicating what they do to become excellent with an ultimate quest of being the best at X.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And we don't have that near as much here.
No.
So it's a cultural difference, right?
I think a lot of it is,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's culturally
Yeah.
would be the right way because it's been generationally that's the way it's been done.
Now, you said you checked out their sewing rooms. What particular garments were you interested in making at that point in
I
time?
didn't give a shit.
Okay.
It's like the neatest thing is like because it was so childish, and that's why childish is the way that I would describe it. It's like when I would literally just want something, and I wanted something for me, and it was that simple, it was that childish, it was that kind of that allowed me to discard so many things that I think people get caught up in. It's like when I didn't care what it cost. At the end of it.
Yeah.
I was stuck on making this and getting this thing that I wanted. And I was still, I guess, childish enough inside where it's like when I was able to not consider what most people would consider. And that's like when I need to sell it at the end. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but I didn't. I was like,
You were just chasing a rainbow. What was the first?
That's it.
Yeah. What was the first article that you made that you were like, this is
Some high quality.
this is we're getting to where I want to be.
the first rough out horsehide jacket that I made. So this was like Jonathan.
I think it's the one I lost.
Is that the one you lost downtown?
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
So before I knew about your brand or anything, we're downtown, and I forget what it was for last year, 2 years ago. I can't remember. And he's like, "Was my jacket on your chair?" I said, "I don't know." And then we look all over for this jacket, and he's like, "It's my favorite jacket." And we need to find it. And then I'm like, okay, this must be a really nice jacket. Then he sends me to your website. I'm like, oh, this is a very nice jacket. Like, sorry.
Anyway.
No, I love that story.
Hey, great jacket. Someone out there got a free one.
Yeah, whoever's got my jacket,
Yeah, eat a
fuck
dick.
you, dickhead.
But so that jacket, well, it was all kind of leading up. So Jonathan Ward of Icon 4x4s, which I love cars and all that kind of shit. I think it was
You say Icon?
Icon.
Yeah, they do amazing stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years prior to that, I called up, and goes back to, I guess I do this outside of what I'm doing here, but also in the general part of my life. I called him up out of the blue and said, hey, I got a Defender 90 that's 95. I got a 66 Lincoln. I go, what do you think? I go, I'm going to give you both. You just give me back one. Do your thing. And he laughs. And that's my first introduction to Jonathan Ward.
Jeez.
Was like him laughing at me because I said, I'll just give you these 2 cars.
Yeah.
I just want one back. I go, I don't care which one. And and that started our friendship.
Yeah.
So a year later, I think it was maybe 2, we had decided to do a jacket together. And I've, from the very beginning, established and started working with Horeen Tannery and having this relationship with them. And they allowed me in the tannery anytime I wanted. They developed things with me.
Yeah.
Like one of those things where it's like, they had no reason to. It's like
Sure.
when I was just at best a weight.
Yeah.
But they must have saw some aspect of fun, I'm guessing, that they're willing to see something that didn't yet exist.
Yeah.
But I go, let's just develop develop a new leather at Horeen. I'll call them. We'll see what kind of ties into these different elements. And they pulled an archive and then reintroduced that for me and Jonathan to this. I had a roll of it at my house.
Sure.
COVID's coming, or COVID's not yet here, but COVID is coming. So it's that November, December of that year. And I'm at my house. I've got this roll of fabric. We're talking about this collaboration. I've got everything worked out on my end, which is fabrics and design and patterns, which is my game. And then he wanted to find a sewing room to do it down in California. So that was where he was at. And then I got introduced. The sewing room that we defined was in like the December time, January. And I was like, okay, I'm going to break these guys in. I'm going to show it. I'm going to make this jacket. I've always wanted to make this rough out jacket. It's got all the scarring on it. It's got all this shit. I'm like, it's fucking cool. I go, the inside will omit the fact that I don't have to do a liner. It's smooth. It's like fucking great. I go, done. I go, make this jacket, use my pattern. Here we go. They make it. I get it back at the end of January. I fly to New York because I don't have any money at this time. I'm absolutely broke. I've got no money. The brand has got like some fun things happening, but nothing that's promoting or providing me any income at all. Or it's just fun.
Yeah.
And I'm there to meet with the finance person, then meet with the person at Ralph Lauren, and meet with a pant person. And I'd just done a magazine article for Land Rover Italy that they just followed me through Vancouver for no fucking reason. Made no sense.
Sure.
Pictures of me and my fucking Land Rover. And I'm making this jacket with thing. I get this one sample and I'm wearing it in New York. COVID hits. I'm off to Japan on one of the few last flights before the country shuts down and everyone's fighting for toilet paper. I'm on a flight to Japan because I'm doing a picture. IWC is going to do a story with me, and I'm supposed to get tattooed. I'd already started my tattoos with Horitoshi One, but we had tattoos scheduled. I'm like, if they let me on the plane, I'm fucking out.
Sure.
And they're going. Everyone's like, "Well, you might not be able to get back." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck."
Great.
I go,
it's good news.
That's really not a reason for me not to go.
Yeah, just need to get there.
And then they're like, "Well, the world might be over." And I was like, "Well, that's a better reason for me to go." I go, "There's nothing but upside." It's like, you might not be able to travel. And I'm like, "Well, I better go now."
Yeah.
Like I better get a flight sooner.
Yeah.
Not wait.
Yeah.
So I jump off. I'm wearing this jacket. I wear it across Japan, and I'm like going. That was the first jacket that I look back at. I'm like going, this is where I'm on track here.
Yeah.
This is fucking fun.
So this is what you've been trying to do though the entire time.
This is fucking fun.
Yeah.
And this is like this. I feel that this makes me feel the way I want to feel when I make something or when I have something to sell or offer.
Yeah.
Like this is it. And I hadn't made jeans yet. It's like when I design jeans, I've sampled jeans in the U.S. I hadn't made jeans yet.
Yeah.
And I was like going, and I get back from that trip, and the country's all in shambles. And I'm just riding my bike wearing that jacket.
Yeah.
Every fucking day, breaking clutches, breaking transmissions, I've got more. I think I was on, within 3 months, I was on 20 different tow trucks around the fucking Western Washington, breaking down everywhere because I was breaking my bike.
So then, okay, you have that jacket, you like it, you make more of them. What was the
No,
next
because
one?
I didn't have any money still. So I put it on pre-sale and I offered it for pre-sale, and I was like, Tanner, you'd make me leather, and I was like, fuck, dude, it's rough out. You guys buy it if you want. If you don't, eat a dick. That was more the mentality of it. And I'm like going, it's fucking cool. I go, I don't really care. The world's going to fucking fold. I thought it was almost fun, and I played into that kind of scare tactic that the world is. It's like that made me care less of if things were going to work in the way in which society wanted or expected them to work. I was like, fuck it. Let's fucking do it.
Sure.
I designed a fucking indigo N1 jacket with Y2 leathers in the lobby of the hotel while I was in Japan. Came back and released it in June. Within a month, Joe Rogan's calling me on Instagram, asking me to come say hi. He wants me to make him one.
Remember that
And it's only because I'm like, the only thing that he followed me on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like, and I'm just ripping that tunnel at 80 miles per hour in a winter jacket in June. It's like going.
So I am curious to know everything about this vest, the one we did together, and then I also want to hear about your jacket there. So walk us through this one. You know,
All right. Well, so wax canvas. I guess everyone does it, right? So when I started to want to play with wax canvas, because I was kind of fixated on it, I'm like, I go, but I'm just not excited about anything, meaning it's like when everybody has it, it's like it's not good, it's not bad, it's just whatever. And I was playing around with diamond quilting, and then to do it the way in which we do here, it's like it has to be done by hand because we've got different size diamonds depending on where you are in the jacket, because it's kind of accentuating what we do patch wise, pocket wise, yoke wise. It's all kind of fucking fun, right? So I was like, when I've always loved this style vest, which I think you can credit back to like most popularly, Carhartt. And then I had a Carhartt work in progress vest in the late 90s that actually went into the tailoring aspect. So I got to go into it like an interest in tailoring, which I really like tailoring. So I started to look at it with the tailoring kind of emphasis on its shape. And I got to do my diamond quilting, and I got my pinpoint fabric for lining and my gun pockets. And so that's how I design everything. It's like when I'm just sitting there going, I don't think past whatever tunnel I start in on of like, how am I going to make this so I can love it? And then the ribbing, it's like when the ribbing, we make this ribbing. Yeah. So this vest was me kind of satisfying what I wanted ultimately in that.
You kind of make clothes for yourself.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love that. 100%. I would do the same thing. I mean, if you don't love it, why the hell would anybody else?
You would be good at it.
But why would you expect someone to like it? And that's the way like in theory, I'm like, if I'm making it and I don't love it, how can I expect somebody else to? That's kind of moronic.
Yeah.
Or it is moronic. It's like if I can satisfy myself, I've won one person over to start.
Sure.
And then hopefully, somebody likes the same thing as I like.
Exactly.
But this jacket kind of like, or this vest, like, yeah, it's even got a re zipper. It's like when the zipper's smooth.
Yeah.
It's like, love the gold contrast. The snaps I fucking love, right? Yep. It's like when all these things, it's like when you kind of just one thing bounces to the next.
Now, where do you do your snaps?
So I've had snap fiascos. I've migrated. I make that snap in Japan, and I make that snap in the U.S.
Okay.
YKK USA has had me being kind, tremendous problems. So the ones on your vest are Japan. The ones that we made on the production run of ours are Japan.
Okay.
The zipper is Italy, Europe. Fabric is USA. Shell fabric is USA. Ribbing is USA. Lining is Japan. And the construction, complete construction, every aspect of the construction is in Seattle.
Okay.
In our sewing room.
Do you have your processes pretty streamlined now from, hey, I'm building a jacket. Hey, I'm calling my button guy, my zipper guy, the internal fabric, external fabric.
Every item, I mean, a lot of them are all cross mingling, and it's like now it's like when what can I do and where can I do it the best? But it's like when a lot of it's very product specific, like, and I can do it that way because I've always done it that way. So it's like when I do this, there's some cross mingling between this and that. The denim, there's even cross mingling hardware wise, but most of the sewing rooms are very specialized. Like I don't because I don't think you can execute when you get into the specializing.
Yeah.
And you want to go really level shit. Then you're like going, I mean, equipment wise is often very, very different skill set.
Sure.
Like my Northern Dream jacket, the one with the limed, long-haired lamb skin.
That thing's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when in that jacket, you're like going, no, it's like when it takes one person at a very, very high level, one person an entire day to sew it.
I was gonna say that thing is
right, and that's just the sewing of it, right?
Yeah.
It's not the preparation of it.
Yep.
That's not the what need. It's like when, and I have 90 lamb skins in my office right now for the production we're doing next month.
Jeez.
Or May. 90 lamb are sitting in my office.
Are those for a particular individual or just for the market?
So that was already pre-sold.
Yeah, they did a pre-run of that.
Okay.
You have to.
Yeah.
Like, so my medium, which is in many designs, is kind of where I base it off of. So I design it, pattern it off me, and then grade it from that, right? And me being a medium. And now I'm a little bit large. I'm a medium to large. I'm going to be tight in a medium, or I'll be kind of roomy in a large. But my jacket took a hide and a half of horse and 3.5 lamb skins.
One
is
jacket.
my median. Yeah.
A full horse and a half.
Hide.
Yeah.
You don't get to use everything.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Wild fun jacket.
Ben, we have to put this one up there.
Yeah, I'll send it
Yeah.
to you, Ben. It's
Wild fun.
Yeah.
I looked at it for a long time.
Are you still looking?
No,
I'm gonna look and I'm gonna like it.
It's closed, thank God. Because
So I've got some real exciting things kind of in the works, and that's the fun thing of I'm mostly having fun doing all these things. So, like that jacket again, offered, closed, production will be completed over the next 45, 50 days.
Yeah.
And then that jacket in the fall gets offered in 2 colors. That one and this leather I've been working so hard with Horeen because I've got 2 jackets I'm designing like right now, like in the middle of it. And it's like going, and that jacket is based off this tea dyed that's being in a dark, like hand over dyed, like black over brown, fucking horsehide.
This one will be?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
That's
Super
what you've been
fucking
waiting on.
fun. That's super fun. So that leather's taken us months,
Yeah.
like months of just like going, nah, man.
same
dude,
same.
everything's the same.
just different color.
Just leather.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And it's like when, but that leather's taken me like months with Horeen, and leap a few years. All these people don't now deal with me unless they make money.
Sure.
But they gave me a chance, it's like it was all at such small scale, but it's like when I look back at it, I'm like going, no, it's like going, I know enough. They didn't make any money. It's like when I cost them money.
Sure.
Dealing with me was like, it had to be like, oh God.
Here he's back.
Oh fuck, this guy's calling again?
He's back.
Oh,
It worked out for him.
motherfuckers. Like, we got to put up this fucking guy.
So what's that one?
Yep. What's this? I like that
This
one.
So this one will be put available. Well, so this one's got a fun story. So
that's like the original one that I had, kind of.
yeah, so this
It's
would
a
be
kind of
kind
take off of it.
Yeah, this would be Jen. Well, I designed this in mind of what I wanted, and a customer, now I would consider friend,
Yep.
is probably the one person I would imagine has shown as secondary to me a love for this jacket or love for this style of jacket second to me, and that's somebody that most people know name wise.
It's on the website.
Yeah, Zach
Yeah.
Bryan.
Yeah.
So and he mentioned a color, and it's a color that I've always wanted to make. A color that's difficult to execute it in the environment I want. An environment
What color are we calling this?
proper ivory.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that.
And this is the one you made for Zach?
Well,
This- or-
he's got it now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the shtick as I made it. I made the first one, and that went to him. So now through the development process, the first one that was buttoned, like Zach has a couple of them, and then that one's my personal one. And now we're in the kind of production end of the making of the leather, which will take us.
So this is originally just the brown, and you have to pull.
Well, so it's going to be the natural, like the natural
Sure.
color post, let's say the initial tanning.
So getting into this is a process, I take it?
Yeah.
It's a problem?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Now we've figured out all the problems.
It's amazing how heavy it is, but then how
know.
soft the...
It's yeah. But that jacket was with this, there's some stylistic things that kept on, or that I've wanted to do, and this was gave the justification or one of the reasons to do it, because I didn't want to do it on this. I like my jackets that I currently offer.
Sure.
I didn't want to change them.
Yeah.
I needed to do it on something completely new, so it had to be new to a level where it's like when I have lots of jackets personally. So now often what I'm designing or making, it's to one up something I don't have. It's not just to give me another version of what I already have.
Exactly.
It's like I want something that makes me smile, it makes me excited. And this is kind of that. So it's the color of snaps, but it's the waist pockets. It's still unlined. So the finish side in, flesh side out. This leather ends up having like almost the hides that we've worked with so far have blood marks on it, which I think is fucking fun.
Yeah.
And that will be articulated that you get what you get.
Sure.
I make what I make.
Yep.
Hides don't get sparsed amongst people selectively. It's like then neither does mine.
Yeah.
I get over the fucking jacket.
Yeah.
But you're treated no better than I am.
Yeah.
But the leather I love, the kind of finishings are just sweet. The adjustments of the shoulder yokes and kind of the over accentuation of that back shoulder yoke. The pockets are fun, the waist pockets. So all these things are just slight refinements to make it be that Gen 2 or Gen 3, I'd say.
It looks, I mean, for those that, I'm looking at the website, for those that see it on the website, it looks and feels even better in person.
Thanks.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm excited. And again, it's like for us to do this, it's like when it was really, I think, a well-defined thing like that says how it still works. It's like I designed it, I made it. It's like and showed it to Zach, and I was like, where are you going to be on Saturday? And that was on like a Wednesday. And then I flew to where he was at. We met, shook hands over it, and then we're good.
There you go. I love it.
That's it.
Do you, or are you going to ever make women's clothing?
Oh, I'd like to. Yeah, I'm trying to right now.
Okay.
But some of it's, now I'm dancing with capacity of like sewing room. And then, so I've purchased and made a Harris tweed in Scotland that was something I had planned to be for women. And I have a silhouette that's kind of adjusting. It's like the easy thing about the man part is I have this kind of singular line of approach where I'm just designing it for me.
Yeah.
If I love it, then it's great. And if nobody likes it at that point, fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. And I get to have that kind of fun defiance or that fun stance that I still love from action sport days or like being a young guy that I think we all like that aspect of our youth. And I've just never lost it because I'm still a fucking kid.
Yeah, sounds like you found your purpose and found what you love. So
yeah,
it doesn't really seem like you're working anymore. You're just making cool ass shit for yourself, and people appreciate it and are buying it. So kind of
that makes me feel good, right? It's like
the jackpot.
I get to have both.
Yes.
I get to have that end thing where I want people to like it, but at the same time, I don't care.
Yeah. But in reality, I do like it. So, like you said, you get best of both worlds.
I get to say that with a certain level of kind of chuckleness.
Yeah.
But the woman thing, it's like when I've always kind of been like a bit of a miss. I'm like, dude, this is not for me. And it's like when I want to design on somebody or for somebody.
Sure.
So that's where I've been like, it's like so I haven't, there's not a woman that exists that I'm designing for. And that's what's made it harder and longer.
Yeah.
Because that would make it easy for me, I think.
If someone was like, hey, I want this, you'd be like,
or I was just looking at them, I'm like, I'm designing this for
you.
This.
Yes.
For you. It's like you'll like it, just let me do my thing at this point. It's like when I love your input in regards to fit and style and kind of where this is meant to be X versus Y. So there's a handful of women that wear the stuff. Yeah. Right? But they wear it as if they're wearing their boyfriend's or husband's jacket. That's
oversized.
The style.
Yes.
Right? Which works. But at this time, it's like I think I've been asked for years now to do something.
Yeah.
I want to.
That'd be cool.
All right. Any article of clothing that you haven't made, like bucket list item, what would it be? Or have you made everything that you had in your bucket
no, there's
list?
fucking plenty. Tennis shoes, which is fucked. It's like it's a weird one because it's like when I know the difficulties because I've done projects with a handful of those companies through my younger years. But it's like when I've always dreamt of, and I consider it like kind of making it thing. Like if I can ever do my collaboration tennis shoes, because I've designed and pitched those things, you know, starting 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So I think that's a fucking one. Like full outerwear, I've designed some. I've got like prototypes, and I've got things that I've sampled and put through like sample process in Japan, like full high level execution, highly technical, highly fucking high performance, like ski shit.
Oh yeah.
Which I would love.
Yeah.
Like that's sitting on the fucking thing. It's like, 'cause I can make it.
Sure.
I can design it.
You big skier?
But I lived in Whistler and like have been in most ski resorts in North America, and I like it a lot. I don't get to do it as much.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, brother, I really appreciate you coming on. And these vests, they drop soon. I think we're going to try to drop them the same day this podcast drops.
What day is it?
TBD on that.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That date will be like right under it. This.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly. And I appreciate you coming on. And everyone, please go check out the blackbearbrand.com. Josh has some awesome stuff, has an awesome story. And check out our vest.
I can't wait for this new jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you pictures first.
All right, perfect. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you just got your first pre-order.
Absolutely.
Cool.